Hey, what's up, everybody? How you doing? Hope you're well. And we are live now. So I guess I'm the one here talking to y'all. This is my first time presenting here on Air Meet, so bear with me if there's any sort of technical difficulties or other things that happen. But in case you don't know already, I'm Vandal from Dow Records and one of the community leads here for the NxM Music Guild, that is Near Times Music. It's a music guild here on Near that is meant to bring the community together of musicians in this space, in the Web3 space, and those who are interested in getting involved in this space to learn a bit more about Near, as well as what we're trying to do with music, and just in general, just look at how we can build a more sustainable and better environment for musicians in this Web3 and internet era. I know that there's a lot of issues when it comes to the music industry in general, and I think these are the type of things that we would like to address the Music Guild. So that said, I'm just going to quickly go over the overview document. I don't know if you have had a chance to see the overview document yet, but if you haven't, I'll be just touching on a couple of the points here in the document about what the Guild is all about and what we're trying to do. So in short, our main objectives is to grow the community. So this is what we started with the Telegram chat, and also we haven't set up yet a Discord or a Twitter, but these are some of the things that we're planning to do after kind of getting the initial community together. The next part of that would be to set up the Guild in terms of how it's going to operate, and we've started this part of what I'm going to talk about a bit later when it comes to the Music DAO. And then that will bring together proposals and approvals and completions that are submitted by members of the community to the Guild for stuff that they want to do, which would be related to all the things that we're going to discuss together. Another part of this is also community events, which one of them just happened. Our first community event happened last Friday, so we're going to get into a bit more details about that. So that's sort of a monthly live music event, DJs, as well as in the future potentially live performances. And then, of course, future things of what we want to achieve in terms of onboarding through a music academy, NFT Music Academy. These are all the things that can be found in the overview document. If you don't already have the overview document, we'll be sharing it in the Discord again. And it's also, sorry, not the Discord, the Telegram. I'll be sharing it in Telegram again. And also we'll be talking about it a bit more later on. So I'd like to thank everybody coming here and being a part of this. I see that we've got about 9 people in the room so far, so it's pretty good for our first call. And yeah, so this is just a general introduction for today. And if you have had a chance to see what the sessions are, our next session is coming up, should be coming up now, and that's sort of what we're going to do moving forward. So on that session, I know that we have Mike St. Jean in the house. So I'm going to also invite him up to join me, if that's okay, Mike. If not, I can cover it. You just let me know in the chat, and I'll start the next session. Is basically just going through what we want to do moving forward and what sort of direction that we're going to take. So with that said, I shall now move into the next phase. All right, he's all good. Let's move on. Let's start the next session. I did sessions here, so I'm not sure if I need to stop this session in order to start the next session, but I think I need to do that. So let me end the session and start a new session. Okay. All right. It looks like we are good to go. What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much again for, being a part of this second community call. One love to all of you and appreciate your time. There's a blue heart back to you. So we've got out, I guess, 7, 8 people in the session so far. So I figure more people are kind of trickle in. But I just kind of wanted to go over some things that we did talk about in our Telegram group chat, and in some of the stuff that's been going on, just to kind of get everybody up to speed with things. And then after that, if anybody who's here in this session wants to introduce themselves or tell anybody what's going on with them, or if they have a project that they're working on, or even any questions that you have and you want to come up on stage, all you need to do is go to the right-hand side of the chat area there where it says raise hand, and then you can get your hand up and I can bring you up onto the stage to chat as well. I've also am looking for Mike. Hey, Mike, how you doing, man? I'll get Mike up as well to have a chat and just kind of update things on the foundation side of NxM and what we're looking to do. So I guess I'll just start off with hello, everyone. And I hope you had a great week so far. There's been a lot of stuff happening in the space. If you're new to NxM, thank you for joining us. I'm Vendel, community lead from Dow Records and NxM. And yeah, I'll just start by saying that the group is growing pretty quickly, and a lot of new members are coming in. And I think that there might be some people who may not be up to speed in terms of, what we're all about and what's going on. So I've been adjusting and configuring the pinned message for the Telegram chat. So on the Telegram, you can check out the pinned message, and that should give all the details to access to all of the NxM related space and areas of focus. So we had just set up a Discord server, so that's there as well. The Discord server still needs configuring, and we have a Facebook page set up also from one of our members. So thank you so much for setting up a Facebook page. And I was thinking, we do have other social media, and this is something that I wanted to talk to everybody about, to see whether, there's interest in having, say, an NxM Twitter account or Instagram and so on and so forth, maybe even Reddit, I don't know. Social media is one of the things that is on the list to discuss in terms of moving forward with the guild and being able to have more reach. Traditionally, I think this was something that was brought up about the Facebook group was with one of our members who's based in Poland. I think it was Alex who's on the call as well, if I'm not mistaken. And that was sort of meant to facilitate onboarding people in community where maybe Facebook or Instagram or Twitter seems to be the best way to reach people, to bring them in to the group. So this, I think, is one of the things on our list that we can talk about. And after, I think I'm going to keep the this session a bit short today, and then we can kind of look at how we can get into smaller groups in the tables to kind of go over things. I didn't have a chance to name the tables just yet, but I figure we can use one for social media stuff and another table for just general community discussions. Another thing on the agenda today that I did want to touch on was the DAO. So we've got for NxM, we've got a DAO set up. For those who don't know what a DAO is, we're going to share some more information, I think, in our Telegram for you to go and access to learn more about what a DAO is. But essentially, it's a decentralized governance system that allows us to submit proposals, vote on the proposals, and then receive funding in return for those proposals. And that way we have, I guess, a more decentralized approach to the way that we govern the Music Guild, right? And the other thing was moving forward, thinking about how we can have a general NxM DAO, and then within that DAO have micro DAOs. So for example, we have a DAO that's specifically for marketing, a DAO that is meant for education, a DAO that is for social media. And these are the things that I would like to, ask the members of the community to see what they think is most needed in terms of that things. Yeah, exactly. Guilds on guilds on guilds, right? And I think that this allows us to, I guess, be more, we can move faster because we can then have smaller teams. So I think coming out of this call, I'd like to ask everybody to just kind of think about what area they would want to contribute to, and whether that's social media, whether that's onboarding, whether it's on the management side of the documentation, creating educational material, whatever it is, any ideas that people have to see where they want to get involved, I think is what we want to kind of flesh out after this meeting moving forward, because that way then we can get the DAO all ready and set up, and then there's going to be a hackathon coming up, and I believe now it's been pushed until to the 15th of May. And this is through Near, and it's a DAO hack essentially. So what we thought is that we could come up with all these ideas, put them all together, and then present them to the NxM DAO, and then we have a vote on which sort of micro DAOs, or as you say, hyper-focused niches, thanks Gat Raps, we can see where everybody wants to be a part of. And then what I can do here is for our next call, we can set up the tables. And I think the tables are, there was a question here, are tables not a feature on mobile? I'm not sure. I'm not sure with mobile, because I haven't had a chance to use this program on mobile yet. But what we'll do is then for the next call, set up tables where we can go in and just discuss with people who have shared interests in creating the different teams. And exactly, we want to make this organic, and we want to have basically everybody in the community be able to contribute their ideas. And I think that's the whole point of being a DAO, is to really, allow the community to take ownership of everything that's happening, and to take a leadership role, right? And I think that's something that I feel is really important. And in terms of moving forward with decentralization and really what we want to achieve collectively. I have my ideas. I'm sure everybody in here has also their ideas. And now we have a chance to kind of bring those ideas all together, sit down together to talk about them, and then move forward on them in a way that makes sense. And then we have this sort of governance model. And I think it will take a bit of time to get everybody kind of up to speed with how governance works, especially with DAOs, and then using the Near DAO. So what I thought to do now is, well, maybe I'll just, I'll do it later. I guess now I'm going to bring up, maybe we can just have a chat. I'm going to bring up Mike. You're cool. Where's Mike? Mike has disappeared. Okay, so Mike is not here. Okay, so I'm going to just open the floor for questions, and I would like to invite anybody in the community up on stage to, if they want to introduce themselves, say hello, tell people what they're doing. All of the main session here on screen on the session is recorded, so this whole meeting is recorded. Unfortunately, there's no recording of the table discussions. I think that's just a feature of AirMeet that only records the sessions so that the tables have, side discussions going on simultaneously for people to chat. So I think it's a bit more difficult for them to have all those recorded. So I guess, does anybody want to raise their hand and come up on stage to say hello or introduce or just share something that they're up to? Yes, we got somebody. All right, handing you the mic. Super Sigil.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex, aka Super Sigil, my producer name. I was just having a thought there as I was talking about, what we all are kind of looking for in terms of getting involved in this. And I thought one really useful thing that we could maybe put in the group Discord or something would be a kind of overview of the different ways that Nick and the blockchain are sort of interacting at the moment, because it seems like every day that I'm seeing some new way that somebody's found to tokenize an album or create a new platform for a new release and so on. I thought it'd be really cool if there was somewhere people could go to just get an overview of all of those different platforms and mechanisms that people are setting up. And as the kind of like music on the blockchain guild, it would be really cool if we could kind of take leadership of that, so that we're the sort of go-to place if anybody's interested in checking out how music and blockchain are interacting. We're the ones who can say, well, here's our page on that. You can check out all this different stuff.
That's a really great point. A resource, a pool of resources that people can access.
Exactly.
And that's constantly being updated, because we have so many advancements in the space and new things popping up all the time. So this is something that goes back to one of the main core purposes of the guild, or guilds in general, is to be able to facilitate the creation of these kind of documents. In that we will be very soon. I'm just having the discussion with the near community leaders in terms of how our guild is and what our needs are, and then we will be having funding for this type of stuff in near. So I think this is definitely a key resource. So like a guidebook to audio, NFTs, and blockchain projects. And it could be like a document that yourself or someone in the community applies for the bounty to then write this document that will then, say, appear on our Notion, on our wiki, or on a website. Now, we haven't gotten that far yet, so I think that we're still sort of at the setup stage, which is another reason why I wanted to kind of get Mike up, because Mike had created the initial Notion document, and the Notion was meant to kind of have all of this information in there, which I'm sure everybody who's in here has had a look at the overview document. If you haven't, please do that on the Telegram. In the pinned message, there's a link to the overview document, and it's a very light sort of initial ideas document that just goes over some of the ideas that Mike and myself had for what the guild is supposed to be. But I think that with everybody's contribution in the community, then we can kind of fine tune that document into something that makes sense. Okay, no, I think we can use both. There was a question whether is there a reason why we're using Notion over Medium. Notion, I think, was more just to be able to manage things together, whereas I think we can still do Medium. I think like Medium articles, I think are another important element. So that's definitely something to take note in this recording moving forward. And then the other thing is looking at sort of what are the core what's the core information, the core documents that we need, and then what we need to set up that foundational structure. And this is the conversation that I've been wanting to have with everybody in the community before sort of making a decision on my own or going to do something. I think it makes sense for us to bring everybody in and activate everybody who wants to get involved and contribute. You know, your point, Alex, was really great about, you know, having this resource, and it's something that one of the community members, Mighty 33, has been putting together on a Miro board. So he has this massive Miro board of all of the audio blockchain projects and where they fit. So this could actually be used as a resource to then create this document. And I think that that's something that should be on the list of things that we need in this initial phase. Another question that I had is you know, should we have a website, right? Music Guild website, kind of like what CreateBase has done. And I've been sort of following the progress of CreateBase. If you're not familiar with CreateBase, they're another guild on Near, which focuses on all aspects of the, I guess, creative involvement or the creative community using the tools like NFTs and so on. CreateBase does have a lot of resources that we can kind of look at, I guess, fine-tuning to the audio needs on our side. So that was something, in a website, I think, is a great idea. These are things where we would ask members of the community if they have specific skill set to then engage the community members to set up and manage or to facilitate. And then we would have sort of bounties aligned to that. So I think one of the things that you know, is just coming up with these ideas. Do you have any more ideas, Alex, that you wanted to share aside from this resource?
Well, just one thing I'll say while I'm here is maybe it would be useful to kind of flip the question around and see, for everybody here, maybe just to drop in the chat what they're looking to not only contribute to build, but like what would be most useful for them as well, for all of us, like to feel that we want to see in the guild. You know, like what is everybody here for, basically? Because it can be useful to then just flip that around and be like, you know, what are we all able to contribute to this, and also what are we all looking to get from it in terms of something we can all create together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's absolutely, that's perfect, because, you know, we define what the guild is, all of us individually, right? So if we're just, you know, watching from the sidelines, then that's fine. But if you want to get involved and you want to do something and you think that it's beneficial to everybody, you know, just ask. And I think that that's the important thing here, is to have these conversations. And you're right, because, you know, it's important for community members to say, hey, I think we should do this, like you, like, hey, we need a Facebook page. Okay, we get a Facebook page, and a Facebook page, right? Simple as that. If you have an idea of like so for example, Alex, who's not here, he set up the NxM Live, which is going to be sort of like a monthly performance event for NxM that would happen every month and would feature different artists in the community. And then, oh, sorry, I didn't realize that it dropped you off, Alex. My bad. But yeah, so I was going to say, like, if you have these ideas that you want to present, you can, you know, present it. It was pretty simple for Alex. We've been having support from CreateBase Guild in terms of you know, funding for the initial stuff that we're doing with NxM. So yeah, any ideas that you have that you feel like will benefit the community, you can simply just propose that, and can work it from there. Gat, what's up, Gat? How are you, brother?
What's happening?
Yeah.
Hi, guys. Nice to see everybody today. Wonderful to be here. This is quite the experience. I am in Ethereum, kind of like an MMO, and it's been a blast. And I've always had like a music hobby thing that I do that I enjoy for fun. I've been seeing a lot of calls for creations of spaces, and this seems like a really great focus for me to contribute what I've learned about with crypto. So with a DAO, typically they have the governance board where you've got your proposals and everything. Tying that in with something that's similar to the way Cometh has put up, where they've got their different sections of their rental, their swap service, and the actual links to like the website. So where it's more of a here's our collection, our documents and everything, but main interaction and community based focus would be on Telegram and in Discord and all that stuff, and have everybody moving and shaking over there, and then basically just keep everything documented and organized on a website would be really key, because that's all I think what we're all really focused on seeking is the information on how to make all these cogs turn together in a mildly efficient fashion, especially with Ethereum's fees. So making the juice worth the squeeze is obviously a big deal. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think one of the advantages that we have using Near with the DAO is that we are able to, not have to worry about the fees for, voting or submitting proposals, and connecting directly to the Near wallets. So for everybody who's in the call now, if you don't yet have a Near wallet or a Near name, please just message me and I can get that over to you pretty easily. We've got Near names, so we would just gift that to you, and then I would DM you your name. So don't forget, if you don't have one, I'll hook that up for you. Just let me know. Another important thing is that sort of central point where people come and they go, okay, I'm looking for this, or that, and then how can I get involved? And then funnel them into our community through the Telegram and having where the discussion lives. And I think the Discord will also be good for that, where we can set up different channels on Discord that be actually tuned to what each of us are working on, our projects. For example, Deduku in Nigeria has set into motion the WhatsApp group for NxM Africa, and is wanting to onboard more artists from his community and the wider community in Africa who can benefit from being a part of this. And I think that's great. Anybody who has initiatives like locally where they are, I think is really important that we're here. We're able to build and network within our own community, right? And then bring people in through that. And I think that that's something that is, it resonates in general with music communities, but is like an extended network of communities that connect like all around the world, which I think is very, powerful for us, and also for the DAO itself and NxM as a guild to support initiatives created by the members of the community. Thanks, Gat. Do you have any other questions or comments to add while you're up?
No, I'm all set. I'm just excited to see where all this takes us and build it. And collaborating obviously is a big thing. And this is going to be a global movement. And if we can make it fair and easy for people to onboard, understand, collaborate, the more interesting and value it'll bring to the entire space, which I believe is going to be good for all of us.
Yeah, that's so true. And I guess now we're at that point where we're trying to figure out exactly the foundation where people can then come and onboard themselves and get involved. So these are the discussions, like anything that anybody wants to suggest or say we should focus on first, I think is a really good direction to move, because we have, the documentation in the overview, but that's not set in stone. And this is something that, if Mike was here, he might be able to talk a bit more about it. But basically it's like, okay, what are we all about? How can people come and find out about what the guild is? and then how can they get involved after that. So it's just the general sort of foundation documentation, I think, is what we need first and foremost. And then engaging our community members that we have now and figuring out, okay, what's next? What do we need? Setting up the different tables, the different areas, the micro DAOs after that, having everybody understand how to interact with the DAO, and then having certain bounties. Like, what bounties do you want to see? Should there be a social media bounty for someone to look after the Twitter? Should there be a bounty for someone to write Medium articles, right? Like about the guild? Should there be a bounty for an event? Or areas where we can then get the funding rolling, because we do have an opportunity now in terms of growing to really attend to things that we feel as a community is most important to the beginning of our growth, to set that foundation in a way that makes sense. If it makes sense. Does that make sense to everyone?
Yeah, absolutely. It's participation is going to be absolutely key, and part of the hurdle right now is onboarding people into crypto. So getting some basics of, this is how you do basic steps to open a MetaMask wallet. I mean, for us, it's at this point common and easy information, but most people still talk completely different language. So getting some of those basic boundaries, people allowing them easy adoption, and bringing them in is going to help them get their creative juices going and help build all this out together. I mean, having basically like, an offer on the table saying, $50 goes to whoever wants to write an article. That's sick. It motivates people. It gives them something that they can actually obtain, versus constantly having that carrot dangled in front of their face. Is just maddening. So I appreciate everybody that's spending their time here. I know everybody has valuable time. So thank you.
Thanks, Gat. Appreciate it. All right, let's get Deduku up here. Hey, Deduku. How you doing? I can't hear you, man. I think your mic, you might need to adjust your mic setting, your input. There we go. No, I'm still not hearing you. Huh. We'll sort out your mic input. Also, if you have any questions, just in the meantime, while we get Deduku's mic set up, if you have any, one thing I wanted to add about the new tools and the learning curve is maybe is it an idea for us to think about, using language that people understand rather than using the sort of crypto jargon like DApps and NFTs and all that kind of thing. Maybe that's a way to make it easier for people to come on board instead of, oh, what's that word? I don't understand. So maybe that's a thought as well in terms of how we can just have the writing and introduce people. Deduku, are you have your mic set up? Okay, while we wait for Deduku to get his mic. How's it looking there? No. Of course, yeah, if you have questions, again, like if you're new to the guild and you have questions, you can feel free to ask them here in the chat, or if you want to come up the stage as well, I can invite you up. Mainly, this is just a way for us to get to know each other and interact and ask questions, and also to look at what's coming up and what we're trying to do. There we go. We got you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
There we are.
Yeah. I'm Deduku, and I'm an audio NFTs artist, proudly NFTs artist. Yeah. This is very very cool. Like it's just the best of it so far, and I'm happy to be amongst the first of the movement. Yeah. So far, I've been onboarding artists, and most the movement is kind of strange to them. Yes, I understand it, but I know because I've not dropped my own NFTs. Yes, I'm still working on my Genesis NFTs. Very soon I'll drop it, and I think here in Africa we always believe in the results. I think results is very very necessary. So I believe when I drop mine, they'll be convinced. But I want to add this. What about sponsoring the websites, like the social media handles? If we can do a kind of ad, ADS to them, then it can reach out to a whole lot of people. Run a good advert in all this. Yes, left for us, the people we have around us, they be convinced enough, and we still need people beyond the people we just have around us. Yes, I think if we can get bounties for sponsoring ads, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, it would be cool.
Yeah, that's a good point, and this is something I think that we will be able to do. Because that's, I think, what's important about it as a community, that we as members of the community can take some lead on doing things for the community and then be compensated through the guild for doing that. Whether that's creating the website, maintaining the website, managing an aspect of the social media. Maybe we need some graphic design work, and somebody in the community can do the graphic design, and then we're able to then put all these pieces together and not have everybody necessarily doing it for free, but also being rewarded as part of their contribution to the guild, so that we can take that bigger step and be able to bring in more people, which is, I think, what you're saying, right? Is like, show them by example what we are, so that they can be interested, and then it's easier for us to bring them in. Still very at the early stage, right? I think these are the important conversations that we need to have, so that we can reach that point, taking it step by step. And that, I think, is great that you raised the question, and you also are looking to the future to see how we can position the guild to be more attractive for the average person to say, oh, okay, now I see what it is. There's a website, there's a social media, and it looks like, let's say, legitimate or something on those lines, right? Yeah, but we're here building this out, and I think that this is the exciting part. And for me, this is amazing because, I want to thank all of you for wanting to be involved in it. And I think that to me is very special, because it means that this is something that is needed in the community, and that people can benefit from. Do you have any more comments or questions, Deduku? We've got another person who wants to come on, so let me know.
No, if there is, I will. Thank you.
Okay, great. Thanks a lot. Okay. All right. Stephen, hey. How are you doing?
Hanging in there.
Awesome, man.
Excited about what's going on here. Excited to be here, connecting with everybody. I just want to bring it back around to what we were talking about with the education. And as far as that goes, I'm, artist, musician, producer. I'm coming more from that and not from crypto. Crypto is very new for me. So yeah, some of the lingo for me, I'm a pretty smart guy, but even for me, I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it sometimes. And I think when it comes to that stuff, just take it into account the different learning styles that people have. And so yeah, sometimes people are going to be able to learn the jargon, and sometimes it'll just be over their head. I don't think we want that to be a barrier for people getting involved. So making it as easy as possible, I think should be the goal, in my view, at least. Yeah, because we want it to be for everybody. So as easy as we can, education, and I think it should be one of the first focuses, because I think we want to get people involved, to keep it going, because that's how we make sure this doesn't die, is we get everybody involved. You know, you have to just get everybody in it, so it's just ubiquitous, like, you know, MP3s or the internet or stuff, and it'll happen. And we just need to, what we're doing now is just guiding it along and making sure we have a say in how it goes. So let's just get everybody involved. That's all I want to say.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, to that note, you know, you're absolutely right, and I think it is important for us to think about, you know, what exactly we can contribute, how to be a part of it, and just explore things together, ask questions, and also do it in a way that makes sense in terms of people's understanding of the terminology, you know. And we are using these new tools, but we don't have to refer to them in a way that people don't understand. So translating the terminology in this space into something that is easier for people to comprehend, the general public, and also why they should get involved. I think that the benefits of getting involved in this ecosystem. There was something that I was thinking about, and I guess currently it's a bit early for that, but was also to think about, you know, different languages, because not everybody out there in the world speaks English. And I think that it's important that if we are going to grow, we need to think about how we can, you know, establish or at least translate our core documents into multiple languages. And I think that should be, or probably will be, determined by the people in the community, because we do have people in the community from various places in the world. And I think that it does make it easier when trying to speak to people in their community and onboard them, to have that sort of language barrier not be an issue. For sure.
And I think that's partially the power of this, is the global nature of it. And so we should absolutely be exploiting it. Yeah. And that's what this is about, I think. Yeah. So let's do it.
Awesome. Cool. So is there anybody else who wants to come up and, you know, ask any questions or share anything that they're working on, or, you know, just simply say hi and introduce themselves to the community? Please do. We have like 15 more minutes left in the meeting. It doesn't necessarily have to be spent doing this. We could potentially break into smaller groups, if that makes sense, into the tables below. But I just wanted to make sure that we've covered everything, you know, up here on the session, because this is going to be recorded, and we'll have everybody who was unable to, you know, make the call, be able to watch this later on. Yeah, and little things like, what do you think we need in terms of bounties? What type of bounties do we want to get set up? Okay, we got a question. With global reach, I'm just going to be melted. Yeah, you're right. That's definitely true. You mean genres in terms of music, or genres in terms of like something else? I'm not sure. I'm thinking you meant music, right? Okay. Yeah, that's cool. I think I get what you're saying, Gat. And this I think is also something that a lot of people have been asking, or, you know, wanting to figure out how to do it, is to collaborate with various people around the world. Whether it's a musician who's looking for artwork for their next release, or whether it's an artist looking to collaborate with a musician. I think we need to, I think we need to see how we can facilitate this. And this, I think, is where we can kind of bring NxM and then connect it to CreateBase. Because in CreateBase, there are a lot of artists, visual artists and creators there. And then obviously in NxM, our focus is on music, but we can kind of synergize between the two guilds, and then we can have collaborations happening there. Other than that, Jazo, I know that you mentioned in the chat you had a question. Do you want to type your question into the chat itself, or would you like to come up on stage and get up here and introduce yourself? Totally up to you. Just let me know in the chat. Stephen, do you have anything else that you want to add, or?
Nope, just really excited. Let's do this, man.
Okay, awesome. Cool. So, all right. So I guess I'll put something on the table now. We have the Discord server. Is there anybody, on the call now who wants to sort of take the lead on helping to set up or co-manage or moderate the Discord server? What we can do then is we can have you, jump into Discord server, and then we can start getting everything going. Currently, I'm the only admin, so I would like to be able to bring some other people in on that. Okay, Stephen mentioned that he's down to help with Discord, so maybe we can get like a little collective of a couple of people to help out to moderate the Discord, because I think that that's a really good way for us to manage the community in terms of all of the different things that we're doing, and that we can set up channels for everybody. So we can have basically the DAO channel with all the DAO information. We can have the micro DAOs, each having their own channel. And then we can really activate the Discord as sort of the central hub for us to access different areas of the community. And the Telegram can be, just a general place where people can communicate and chat with each other, if that makes sense. And then we can kind of build out from there in terms of what we want to do across the other social medias and stuff. Okay, that's awesome. All right, so I'm pretty much done on my end here for this call. I think that we've covered quite a number of things. I would just like to remind people, and if you don't have your Near name and your Near wallet set up, please do contact me. I will get you your Near name and get you all set up. You can message me on a DM on Telegram, or even on the Discord, anywhere. You just let me know what name you want, and then I'll hook you up with that. Got some more things in the chat. Hey, Chloe, how you doing? Can I get you up on stage for a minute? Yeah, let's get you up on stage for a minute and just maybe give an update on CreateBase and how we can cross collaborate between CreateBase and NxM. If you're up for it, let me know, and I can get you up onto the stage to say hi to everybody. But yeah, like on my side, I'm pretty much wrapped up. And here we go. We got Chloe up.
Perfect.
Hey, good timing.
Hello, Vandal, and hello, everybody else. I know I said perfect timing. I just finished my CreateBase meeting, and I was like, let me pop into the music call. So hello, everyone. Chloe here, one of the CreateBase facilitators, another guild in the ecosystem. As Vandal says, trying to find ways to collab. We're here to support the entire creative community and Near community to collaborate. So if you have ways in which you think we can kind of get the music industry, the music decentralized industry more involved with what's going on chain, please let us know. We have some bounties up already to get people used to, putting up stores on Mintbase. But CreateBase usually focuses mainly on Mintbase NFTs specifically, whereas I really love that this music guild getting started, because the music guild can focus on all of the wonderful audio NFTs that can be created. So if you have some ideas for products you want to use that aren't Mint-based focused, please let us know so we can kind of support you guys through the music guild. So whether it's, getting your work on Paris, Paris has royalties involved in their NFTs now. Whether it's you wanting to curate a dashboard for music NFTs specifically. So if you think, hey, you know what, audio NFTs are cool, but how are we going to listen to these things? We might need some sort of web application so we can listen to audio NFTs better. Maybe that's an idea you have. Maybe you need funding for it. Maybe you know some developers. CreateBase can support in that way as well. So have your crazy ideas, go through your planning, and CreateBase is really here to kind of ensure that whatever ideas you have, we can help them be fulfilled. You have to hold my hand and show you where to go. We can definitely do that. So we have CreateBase Community, which is our main website. If you've never been there before, I hope I spelled it right. That should be a way to get all the generic information about CreateBase. You can find our YouTube page, our GitHub, our Telegram account, Twitter, all of that information. In my opinion, the most important is just getting involved with the community, saying hi, just like you do in the Music Guild community. And then what we have CreateBase, our main way of funneling people through is having, we have projects that we fund. So if you have a creative project idea that you think might require some extra support, usually in the form of funding, but it could be any type of support that you may need, you fill out a quick little form. It's a Google form. You tell us what your project is, what are the deliverables, so how much funding will you need at each different milestone, and pretty much CreateBase works to approve that proposal. We're not really looking to deny people's proposals at all. All we're looking at doing is ensure that as we fund you for your project, it's different parts are actually going to get done, and hopefully it's being done efficiently. So we've had Vandal do a few projects through the CreateBase Guild. I've done a few projects through the CreateBase Guild. So it really is open to everybody. I think that's the main thing, no matter what your technical background, if you're a coder, developer, artist, musician, there is an idea that you could work on where you can get funding from, whether it's the Music Guild or CreateBase, to work on those projects. So that's kind of my main spiel, is come earn some nearby supporting the area that you're in.
Yeah, and I think what CreateBase has done and is doing is a really good model for NxM to build off of. A lot of the foundational documentation and these sort of things are there, and then we can look at how we can adapt that documentation to fit the Music Guild, as opposed to just reinventing the wheel, right? And I think that you've done a lot already with CreateBase. We're here to learn from, and I think that that's definitely something special and a resource for community members. So like Chloe said, do head over to the CreateBase website, have a look, get involved, propose something, get a bounty, do something, and that'll give you an idea of what we're going to be doing as well with NxM as we kind of get things together at the core and then move forward.
Yeah, exactly. And just quickly, as Vandal was saying, this is kind of training for how these things are supposed to come. At CreateBase, we do our best to try and showcase what's possible with guilds at NEAR. And we hope that guilds like the Music Guild will take what we do and run with it and go wild with all the different possibilities. We have a lot of support coming from the community squad, so I do work with the NEAR community squad as well on the actual NEAR core team there. And so we have a lot of new updates coming with how we're going to be distributing funds. And so we just opened up our community squad Sputnik DAO this morning. And so we'll be having funds coming through to the Music DAO and the CreateBase DAO through the community squad DAO. So these are the way that things are going to start going. So as Vanda was saying, get your mainnet account, start doing some bounties to earn some NEAR, and get involved in creators economy, where you could be creative, earn for yourselves, and really start having fun with the community that you're in. So I'm going to pop off now. I know it's like 5 minutes to you guys over, but thank you so much for having me on stage, and I really appreciate it, Vanda.
Thanks, Chloe. Appreciate it. Awesome. Cool. So if anybody else wants to, ask a question, hop up on stage. Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes left on this call. I don't want to keep everybody for too long. If not, we can just call it a day. Hop out into a table if you want to hang out and just chat, off the stage. That's totally fine as well. But yeah, if there's any more questions, I guess I'll wait for a last, you want to raise your hand or not. It's okay. All right. Well, with that said, this is our second Oh, wait, we got someone. All right, here we go. Diduku, get you back up here. Hey, yeah. No. Yeah, still can't hear you there. Oh, your mic was working before. Now it's having trouble. No. You want to just try and jump into a table? What do you think? Yeah. So again, if just before we get Diduku set up on his mic, yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming through. This is our second community call. If you know someone who would benefit from being in here, all right, Zaitwar, thanks a lot. And you know, anyone who would benefit from getting involved or being here, please do feel free to invite them to the Telegram group.
Yeah.
Hey,
Can you hear me?
we got you. Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay. What I'm trying to say is this. I understand everything Cleo talked about. That's great. Like with this, got a lot of opportunities for us, and I'm so excited about it all. I suggest like the funding project is another way to convince African creators here is if we can come up with a kind of a studio, you know, like a recording studio. Then you tell them this is it. This is the record studio. You have projects. You have things to create. You know, we can equip the studio. Then the production fees and all that, you know, it can be deducted from the streaming or bid. You know, they because most of them lack funds. They have a lot of write-offs, a lot of things upstairs, a lot of written documents, but no funding, no finance to get everything done. So when you come up to tell them that this is another platform, they come and get their songs on bid and all that. You know, they just need money, or they just need a studio to walk in and drop whatever they have. So I think, I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a great idea because you know, these are sort of like, I think of it like community centers, right? Studios
Yes.
are a place where the community comes to create together. And a lot of times, you know, if we are able to maybe set up an NxM studio in different parts of the world, where members can then come and record, and then a percentage of the earnings of the songs go back towards the guild, to the DAO, to help them fund the studio. I think that these are really cool projects. I think maybe not right away, but down the road is definitely something that we can explore to build out. And I think this is going to be really exciting. And your ideas are awesome. And I think we need to find ways where we can support artists, help to activate them, get them involved in a way, because you know, not everybody has access to funds or even the ability to go and do recording, and we want to make sure that we can try and bridge that gap. Definitely.
Exactly.
Great comment.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
Y'all. Okay, cool. So we're going to wrap up here. And again, I want to thank everybody for coming through our second community call. This is on the 8th of April. And we're going to have our next one in 2 weeks' time, same day, same time. The information will all be in the Telegram pinned message, so make sure to keep an eye on that. And then, of course, if you have any other questions, we're going to break down into the tables, so you can hang on here afterwards to kind of you know, jump in and have a chat with people on the side. And again, if you don't have your near name or account yet, message me. I'll get you hooked up with that. And I guess that's all for now. All right. Awesome, everybody. Thanks a lot for your time, for being here. And let's chat some more. Okay. Cheers.